Namaskaram, welcome back to the roots. Today's woman is Athuzhai. Athuzhai lived during the period of the great Acharya Sri Ramanuja. She was the daughter of Periya Nambi, who was the Acharya of Sri Ramanuja, and Periya Nambi was the disciple of the great Acharya Sri Alavandar Swamigal. Athuzhai was brought up by father Periya Nambi, and she had an opportunity to learn from Ramanujar, and she used to have discussions with Ramanujar, so she had very good surrounding. Periya Nambi was known for his kindness, and he treated everyone equally, and he liked people. So naturally Athuzhai got all these qualities, and she was very beautiful, and she was very knowledgeable, and she had all good qualities. And once Athuzhai was with her father. Ramanuja was singing, that was Margari month, so he was singing Tirupavai. When Ramanujar came to Periya Nambi's house, he was singing the Pasuram Mundu Madagalittan, and he was in the second half of the Pasuram. Chendamare Kayal Chiradi Valayoduppa Vandu Thiravai. So when he said Vandu Thiravai, then Athuzhai opened the doors. Then Ramanujar, after seeing her, he fell. He fainted. Then she ran to her father and told everything. Then Periya Nambi asked, "Is it this Pasuram he sang? Is this line he sang when you opened the door?" Then Periya Nambi explained. He would have thought of Andal. When you open the door, he would have imagined that you are Andal. That is why he fainted. So Athuzhai was brought up in this kind of surrounding. So naturally she was well versed in everything, in Vedas and all the text. And she got married, and she was living with the in-laws. In olden days, the parents of girl used to send domestic help also with the girl, because they used to get married at a young age. But for Athuzhai, Periya Nambi did not send. So the mother-in-law of Athuzhai, she was very particular in getting it. So Athuzhai coming back to father and asking. Then Periya Nambi asked her to approach Ramanuja. Then Ramanuja sent one of his disciples, Mudalyandan Swamigal, to her house as assistant. And imagine, he was a disciple of Ramanuja, a good learner, good scholar, and he is going all the way to work as assistant. That means he was without ego. So imagine the people around her, they were all scholars, they were all good in all the qualities, and they were so humble, they were without ego. So naturally Athuzhai had all these good qualities. She picked up from all the people around her. Then Periya Nambi had another cedar of Alavandar with him. He was Maraner Nambi. That Maraner Nambi did not belong to the Brahmin community. Periya Nambi belonged to the Brahmin community. And Maraner Nambi wanted Periya Nambi to do final rites for him. So he kept up that promise. He agreed for that, and he did it. Periya Nambi did it. But the people of that place, people of that Tiruvarangam, they did not like this, so they didn't allow Periya Nambi to come to the temple and to mix with others and to take part in any of the ceremonies, and he was left alone. There was a fence, thorny fence also kept around his house, so he was not allowed to come out of his house too. So Athuzhai came running to see her father. Athuzhai found that the father was left all alone, and she wanted to get answer from the people what her father did was right only. So she argued and she wanted to convince the people that what he did was only right. That was based on humanitarian grounds. He did final rights for another human being, another good man. So what is wrong in that? So she met everyone and she appealed to everyone. Then one day what happened? There was a procession, the God's procession, there. So Perumal was coming through their street. There what happened? Athuzhai, she knew that Perumal was coming. So she went out of the house and she stopped there. But people there, they all scolded her and they said, no, we should not stop. Let us proceed. But what happened? She did not allow. She just stood in the middle of the road and she stopped it. And she asked the Perumal, in what way my father is wrong? When you were a boy, when you were as Krishna, you played with everybody. You ate food from everyone's house. And you didn't show any discrimination. You didn't find any difference among human beings. And you loved Tirpan Alvar. And you didn't check whether you belong to this Kulam or the other community. You never bothered about all this. You loved your devotees. You loved bhaktas. So that the devotion of Tirpan Alvar made you bring him closer to you. So you asked the priest to bring him to you. So when you were so kind to people, when you were unbiased, then how can the people say that my father did something wrong? So you answered these people. Then what happened? The tear could not move out. The procession could not move out. So after some time, Perumal talked through the priest, through the Archakar. Then Perumal, the Archakar says, one of you go inside Periyanambi's house and make him sit on your shoulders and bring him to the temple. So that was the order given by the Perumal, and Perumal also said that what he did was, so that's a very sacred thing. So people normally do not do, but he came forward to do that. So you should appreciate him. Then people realized their mistake and they took him to the temple, and Periyanambi was so happy to continue his service to the temple, Perumal, and he started living his normal life. And she didn't stop with that. She appealed to Ramanujar too. And she asked Ramanujar to convey the reason given by my father to everybody. So Ramanujar visiting Periyanambi's house, and Ramanujar wanted people to get the answer from Periyanambi directly. So he asked him, why did you do that? Then Periyanambi said, what I did was right only. Ramar did it for Jatayu. Am I higher than Rama, or Maraneri is lower than Jatayu? Yudhishthira did for Vidura. In what way I am superior to Yudhishthira, and in what way Maraneri is inferior to Vidura? So what Alvars taught us only followed by me. Alvars said, you have to do service to the devotee of the devotee. Tondanukku Tondan, Bhaktanukku Bhaktan. I did that only. So I have not done anything wrong. Ramanujar was feeling so proud, and he was so happy that people were listening to him. So they got the answer, proper answer from Periyanambi. So Athuzhai as a daughter made it happen. She wanted, because when somebody does a good thing, it should be brought out and it should be taken as a good thing. Instead of criticizing and instead of punishing that people, that person should be appreciated. So that is what Athuzhai did for her father. So daughters should be bold. We should know when to rise. She did it. And sometimes what we feel, we also feel we have to do something. When something goes wrong, we feel that it has to be set right, and we have some responsibilities to make it right. But we don't come forward. It happens. But here Athuzhai, she didn't bother about anything. She didn't want her father to have that bad name. She didn't want her father to be branded as a bad, something he did something against the Shastras. What he did was it was a very sacred thing. So he made it public, she made it public, and she wanted everyone to appreciate for that action of her father. So the daughter made it happen. So that is what we learn from her. The house you see in this picture, the place where Sri Periya nambi lived. This can be seen in Sri Rangam. You can visit this place and have a darshan of Perumal's worshipped, the Vigrahams worshipped by Sri Periya nambi. In the second photograph you find the puja room in which all the Vigrahams worshipped by Sri Periya nambi are still worshipped by the descendants of Periya nambi. They are in puja. Still the Vigrahams are in puja, and in the room full of inscriptions. The other room you find window. Athuzhai stopped Perumal through this window only. She shouted through this window and asked the Perumal to stop. She stopped the Tiruther from this room. So this room is such a holy room, and that room is still not given any modern finishing. It is kept intact, and we can all visit this place. The moment I visited this room, I had goosebumps, and I am not able to express the emotion I experienced. It can be understood only by experiencing this. Please visit and get the blessings of Sri Periya nambi.